Breaking in progress.
Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late, dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took L's to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late, dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took L's to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
Recording in progress.
What's happening, y'all? We back for part 2 of episode 67. We're moving on to Popcorn Papi. I feel like I would be remiss. I missed 2 very important.
Sorry.
Is that were you doing a 2? Or were you doing scissors? Like, what was that? Baby Shark?
A mixture of both. Chopper sound like Baby Shark. Does it go doo-doo-doo?
Who said that?
I don't know.
Because I definitely heard somebody say that. Like, I was like, was that Nas? Like, what was that?
No.
No, I know it's not Nas. If Nas ever said some shit like that, I'm like, yeah, it really is time to hang it up. Like, that's the thing. I feel like I'd be remiss because like I can't believe that like I completely forgot to do this in the Insomnia Hour portion. But we did lose 2 very prominent people in the superhero community.
Yes.
First and foremost, because we didn't talk about it.
2?
Yeah. We didn't get to talk about it last week, but we lost Kevin Conroy, who's the most prominent voice actor for Batman. He was the voice actor for Batman and Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, almost all of the things.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so like that was a pretty big deal. Like when I read Batman, like he's like the voice that I read Batman, and like that's what Batman sounds like to me. And it's like he does them in all the Arkham games. He does them all, like, you know what I mean. So like to lose someone like that, like it was a pretty big hit. And it's like he was a very big, like when he started and did the voice for Batman, like he didn't even know who Batman was. And it's like for him to then fully become this character and then like being such like a champion for like comics and like the art of it and stuff like that, it was just like that was a big hit. And then secondly, we lost the greatest Power Ranger ever, Jason David Frank. Most notably was the Green and White Ranger. He also became like the Red Ranger at one point in time. He was the Black Ranger.
Again, because I was having this debate with Lulu the other night, and I was like, he was 3 different Rangers.
He was
like,
4 different Rangers.
She was like, he was the green one. I was like, the green one became the white one, and he was also the red one.
And he was
like,
the black
he wasn't the red one. He was Jason. Jason was the red one. I was like, Jason was the original red one. He became the red one as well.
So like I've been calling for. So like I don't know if you remember the 2016 Power Rangers movie. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty decent, but they tease at the end of the movie that they're like Tommy Oliver, like there's gonna do the second one with the Green Ranger. Mm-hmm. We haven't gotten it yet. Can y'all just cast Robbie Keane from Cobra Kai as Tommy Oliver? Like what are we doing?
Ooh.
Like what are we doing? Like that's clearly like the answer.
You said that before too.
I have said it before because it's like as soon as I saw this motherfucker on Cobra Kai, I was like, is this guy not just the Green Ranger? Is that who he is? He also flips back and forth from side to side on there. Last night I wound up watching like a top 10 Jason David Frank moments from Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. All of them are super dope. A lot of them that you remember. There was one that I had forgotten about, and I was like, this was such a fire episode. And he winds up having to fight like a clone of himself.
Oh.
What do you remember? You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
He's fighting like a clone of himself. And it's like, they're kind of fighting each other to a standstill. And then like the clone like transforms into like, I can't remember which Ranger he transforms into. But he's like, the difference between me and you is I have the Master Morpher. And the thing with the Master Morpher does is it lets you transform into any suit that you've ever worn before. So he's literally going through like all 4 stages of the suits, and he ends it off in the White Ranger suit and takes him out. And I was just like, this was such a cold moment. And it's like, it sucks in the manner of which that like he lost his life.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't know about that. Please.
It was suicide.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So like, for someone who
I was wondering because he was only 49, and I was just like, what illness did he have, or like was it a tragic car crash or something? I didn't know he took his own life. Dang.
I remember the night before seeing it like on Twitter a little bit, and I was just like, nah, I can't be. And then like waking up the next morning, I was just like, it's like it really sucked. And for someone who like, is known for just bringing joy to so many people, and it's like, people are just sharing like a lot of like inspirational things that he said, and it just goes to show like how much like you don't know what people are really going through. But like one of the dopest things that I did see was this one clip of him. He's at like a WizardCon or Comic Con or whatever, and while he's talking, who comes over to him? But our man Stan Lee. And he comes over and he's like, yo, I'm sorry to interrupt like this whole thing. He's like, but I have to. I can't leave here without saying hello to my favorite Power Ranger of all time. Jeez. And it's like they have like this moment, and I'm watching it. I'm just like, oh my goodness, because it's like. And Jason David Frank is also meeting like his idol. Like he's looking up, and it's like he doesn't even know where to get up, where to sit down. He doesn't know what to say, and it's like Stan Lee just like is just gushing, like just saying like how much like he loves him and his character and something like that. He's like Tommy Oliver, the greatest Ranger. He's doing like all of the greatest, right? And then like he finally gets the words. He's like, yo, like you inspired me, and he did this, and Stan Lee's like, wait, hey, like I might have done this. He's like, but he's like I was a grown man watching Power Rangers. He's like just because of you. And all your kicks and like all this other stuff. And he was like, I was hoping one day that my kid would grow up to be like as cool as you became, type of deal. And then like he's like, now you sit down and you say hi to everybody here. He's like, I can't tell you how excited I am that I said hi to my favorite Ranger. And he walks like, I'm just like in shambles at the end of this video. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah, that joint. The one video I saw was like, because everybody's doing like their videos, but the two that I thought was the toughest was they had a video of him using the Green Ranger flute. Yeah. And the other dude he had the same type of flute, but he was crying over his flute, and I was just like, ugh. And then the other dude had like the green morphin joint, but it was inside like a little chest with the daggers and everything. Yeah. And he was just like, I'm gonna miss you, old friend. And when he closed the box, it was his signature on top. Like he had met him somewhere and he signed it. And I was just like, dang, man. You don't realize the impact you make on people's lives, man, with some of the smallest things, like a TV show that becomes like very like a staple in people's like childhood.
Truly iconic?
Yes.
That's iconic.
Yes.
Like think about I don't know if you remember a couple years ago when the videos were surfacing of him playing the flute, but it was dubbed over with the regulators. It's like
no, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And then the dragon would come out of the water. I was like, "Is that regulate, my nigga?"
Yeah,
it was like them joints had me crying.
But
bro.
Yeah, it was like the dude did it dope. It was like the video of him like in the actual Power Rangers, but then it was like a video of like him older, like in his house, but he had the same dagger, and then the other dude was playing his dagger, and it was just like, yeah, that's dope.
He was so dope that like they ended up making him like Lord Draken, which is like the Omega Ranger and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo, man, this dude's like, you can't miss. And it's like I think you can't miss, but they will surely be missed. That was a big hit to like I guess you could call it the nerd community or like whatever you want to call it, but it's just like to everywhere. And I was like, I know that we missed it like an Insomnia hour and we went pretty long anyways. I feel like I couldn't go without us seeing it again. It was a big deal.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then to make a weird transition into like actual movies. So like
you have one?
We only have one movie. So I saw the movie The Menu. You obviously did not see this movie.
I did not.
This movie stars Anya Taylor-Joy, who you guys might know from Queen's Gambit. She plays Beth Hartman. She was Magic in the New Mutants, and she was also like the star girl in the movie Split with James McAvoy. Is that hitting anything for you? Any of those? You didn't watch Queen's Gambit, bro? The chess one?
Oh yeah, I watched Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, that's Anya Taylor-Joy. Like she's where she takes those green pills and she sees chess on the ceiling and all that stuff.
Yep.
But that's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she looks completely different.
Nicholas Hoult. I know him more from the British version of the show Skins, but I would say he's probably more popularly known now for being Beast in the X-Men First Class movies.
Yep.
And then the other character is Ralph Fiennes. And like Ralph Fiennes is kind of like a hard person to nail. But if I'm not mistaken, he plays Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies.
He was in X-Men First Class.
Ralph Fiennes was?
Yep. And he was also in the new Mad Max movie. Oh no, Nicholas Hoult.
I was gonna say Nicholas Hoult is Beast and like stuff like that. But like Ralph Fiennes, like he's an older actor. He was in Kingsman. Like he's the one that like kind of shows like he's like the.
Well, I know who Ralph Fiennes is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Voldemort.
Yes.
That would probably be like his biggest role. Like obviously
definitely in the Kingsman.
Yeah. He was in like some of the Bond movies.
He was in definitely some of the Bonds movies. Clash of the Titans. He was definitely in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, he's Voldemort.
Yeah, I'm on your side. I'm saying
No, no, no.
yes.
I'm just like I'm trying to think of like there's a bigger thing like you would see him in. Like he's an actor's actor. Like he's like he's an older guy. He's a pretty big deal, like especially like in the UK and stuff like that. But it's like when you see him, you're like, oh yeah, I like this guy. So this movie, Ralph Fiennes plays like a very he's a very prominent but secluded chef. Like he literally only cooks things in a very perfect manner, in a very specific way, and he only cooks for a certain type of people. Like he doesn't like all the hoopla that goes around with like everything else like that. He's such a good chef that he has like almost like a cult of like young people trying to learn underneath him, and it's like you have to do like grueling process in order to even get to like his top 16 people in his crew. But
Why didn't you say John Leguizamo was in it?
can I get there, bro?
My bad.
Can I
sorry.
get there? The main people were these people.
My bad. Okay.
So like these are the main three people in this movie. So Nicholas Hoult is an avid fan of Ralph Fiennes' character.
Okay.
He ends up entering some sort of contest and he wins tickets to this very, very private event for that Ralph Fiennes is throwing for certain people. I think there's literally only like 8 tables in here, and like altogether there's like 12 to 14 people that are going to eat these meals, and it's like a full like 7-course meal, stuff like that. He winds up bringing his brand new girlfriend, who's Anya Taylor-Joy, to there. So like when they get there, like I said, all these tables, like they're different people. So John Leguizamo is one of the people like that's in there, and like he's an actor, but he's like used to be a big actor, but it's like you can tell like he's kind of like flopping and like he's kind of like philandering about now. Like he's doing like everybody's like, hey, aren't you that guy from that thing? And he's like, yeah, and he's just and like everybody's like, yeah, I remember I saw that when I was a kid. What have you been up to? And like you know what I mean? Like so like he has and like everybody has their own storylines in there as well. There's another character. She was do you remember in Ozark, they had this really tall white woman that was like their handler for like a while. Where it was she was like between them and the Navarro cartel, and then like they wind up, she gets bodied. Yep. She's like another pretty major character. She's like a food critic. Yeah, she's like a food critic on there. So as the night starts going on, he's giving out his signature dishes. It's a very like they're on a secluded island, like literally like a boat drops them off and the boat doesn't come back until tomorrow. So they're on this island and they're gonna eat this food, they're gonna have this amazing experience, and then the boat will come pick them up in the morning. As this dinner starts, Anya Taylor-Joy is kind of like not enjoying how much Nicholas Hoult is like so into this meal. Like he's not paying attention to like her, or because like he's such a foodie, like he's noticing like all these small things, and she's just like, yeah, this doesn't taste very good. And then like, you know, he starts to get upset by that. He's just like, you just don't fucking appreciate, like he's going off. And she's just like, yo, what am I doing here? And then Ralph Fiennes notices that she's not eating her food, which is starting to get him upset. Okay. So then he winds up finding out because like he asks her like her name, and she says her name, and he's like, "You weren't supposed to be here." And she's like, "Well, what do you mean I'm not supposed to be here?" And he's like, "Everybody that's here is here for a very specific reason, and they didn't win a contest. I chose these people specifically, and they were all supposed to be here because they are going to be a part of the menu for tonight. So the question is, are you on our side or are you on their side?" So then the movie starts turning into that, where it's like people start getting bodied and like a lot of stuff starts coming up. Yeah, it was a wild movie. What? So like that's how like I don't even want to say the thing that happens that turns the evening where everybody's like, yo, what is going on?
Talk about plot twist.
Yeah, like so you like it sounds like it's gonna be like a rom-com romantic comedy, but it turns into like a horror thriller like real fast. Jeez. And it's like that's kind of like what it gave me heartburn.
It's crazy.
I can't think of like anything else that I can say about this movie. Like I don't know if you have any questions like I could possibly answer for it.
No.
Like without giving any spoilers?
It spoke for itself. People get eaten.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like it's like I guess I can just say it's like yes and no. It's like, you know,
with a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
But it's like it's a very, very planned out evening, and it's like, you know, they have no cell phones, they have nothing like that. Like they have to turn all that stuff in because the food is so like exclusive and things of that nature. And it's just like the things that
are they serving this to real people dining in the restaurant?
What do you think that they're serving?
people.
No. Like I told you, like it's not really like that. Like they're eating real food. Like he's really cooking for them, like these really dope meals and stuff like that. But like all of these things that he's making have like meanings to them. Like they're sitting there eating and they're like, why does this look so familiar? And then like later he then explains, he's like, well, we ate this because it's like, I don't know if you remember, but you gave me my first bad review, and because of that bad review, like da 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 da. He's like, and that's why you're here and stuff like that. It's actually very Hannibal-esque. Like I think about it, like if you watch the Hannibal TV show, where it's like he's doesn't like rude people or like things of that nature. So it's like people that he finds like unsavory, like this is like where they end up. But it's like it's supposed to be like his going away like as well. So like there's a whole big thing into that.
Okay.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. If I was to put this on the nasty scale, which is full price, matinee, $5 Tuesday, stream it, skip it, I think it falls in between that matinee, $5 Tuesday. And I think it's got to go $5 Tuesday, like eventually. I don't think it's one of those ones where it's like, you need to go see this movie. But I think if you're just like, oh, $5 Tuesday, like I'll see a movie, like you see this, I don't think you'd be disappointed.
Okay.
So like I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was a great movie. Okay. Like especially for it being something that like you know nothing about or like nothing like that. I was just like, wow, there was a lot of crazy stuff that ended up happening in this movie.
Weird turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think you're gonna watch it?
No.
All right. Shine bright like a diamond.
Oh, cultural gem. Tripping. All right. So this one is one of my favorites. Don't look. All right, I'll put it over here. This is number 53 on the list. You can look now. Dang.
What?
That was crazy.
Wasn't that
Pop
loud?
in the neck. Oh my goodness. You're one of those people.
Gotta be loose. Gotta be limber.
I guess.
I've been putting in work for a big dude.
This movie has a star-studded cast. A lot of very funny, comedic, iconic names. And this movie is none other than Death at a Funeral.
I was gonna say, can I guess it by you naming the people in the cast? But never mind.
Hey, maybe we should have did that. But yeah, this is it's a remake. Actually, I don't know if you knew this or not.
I did.
A lot of people don't know that it is a remake from, I want to say, a British movie.
Yeah, which I obviously didn't watch. I think when this movie came out, they were showing the original one like on TV, and I was just like, yeah, this one's better, or it's just right up my alley. Like you know what I mean? Like it's
The
not
UK
British
one or the regular one?
the regular one.
Well, actually, the remake.
The remake with the black people, the black one, bro. That's the difference.
The black one.
The black one. So it's got like Chris Rock and like Bernie Mac in it. Like what are we talking about?
I'm gonna read the cast off now. So you have Chris Rock, you have Peter Dinklage, which played.
Why? He's not even like the main character. Why is he got second billing all of a sudden?
I don't know.
Brother becomes Tyrion Lannister, and all of a sudden he gets bumped up on second billing on this movie that's like 10 years old.
Listen, they got James Marsden. I'm trying to think of what else he might have been in.
Cyclops in the X-Men movies.
There you go. You got Zoe in here, Zaldana.
Okay.
Yep, she plays the
French.
girlfriend. Yep. You have Donnie Glover in Essence that I have never seen him in before.
Danny Glover?
Danny Glover. What did I say?
Donnie Glover.
Sorry, my bad. I was thinking of
Atlanta.
Yeah, but Danny Glover. I've never seen him act like this before, so it's completely hilarious. His interaction in the scenes with Tracy Morgan is out of control. But Tracy Morgan's in it. Kevin Hart is in it. Luke Wilson is in
Very
it.
early Kevin Hart too, isn't it?
Fairly.
This is
Yeah.
before like he became Kevin Hart.
Yes. You got Regina Hall. You've got Loretta Devine. You got Keith David. You got Columbus Short.
This is black royalty.
You got Martin Lawrence. Like you can't go wrong here. You can't go wrong here. For those who don't know the premise of Death at a Funeral, basically, Chris Rock is a writer trying to make his way and get his work published, and his brother Martin Lawrence is an esteemed writer who everybody knows. So Chris Rock is kind of like the second fiddle brother to Martin Lawrence. And this time their father passes away, so they have to throw a funeral. Chris Rock has to deal with most of the planning and the responsibility, while his brother is still getting all the credit because he is the notable writer in the family that everybody. He's a successful one, right? So it looks like he's planning everything and he's taking care of everything when behind the scenes. Nobody knows that Chris Rock is taking care of all these things. And throughout the movie, there's a number of these untold stories unraveling while they're trying to just have a funeral for their father. And some of those unravelings are like Zoe has a boyfriend, and that boyfriend is white, and no one knows that he's white, right? And Columbus Short is her brother, and he sells pharmaceutical drugs, and she's trying to get her boyfriend to calm down. He ends up with some of their drugs, which leads to a whole nother situation. Danny Glover plays like the handicapped uncle who can't walk, and Tracy Morgan's looking after him while he's at the wedding, and they find themselves in
Very foul mouth uncle.
very foul mouth uncle. Tyranny from Tyrion ends up being the one guy who's kind of floating around the funeral, and they don't know why he's there, and they find out that he has a relationship with someone that he's not supposed to, and it leads to this whole big calamity of trying to hide that. It's a very hilarious movie. Everybody does well with their role. They really play off of each other really well in the movie. I would say it's a must watch. I really enjoyed this movie. It's 2010.
Is it 2010? 12 years?
Yeah. And you can watch it. It says on Netflix, but I haven't seen this on Netflix in a while. Maybe it was on Netflix at one point and it's no longer on there.
The thing is, like, I feel like that's something that would have come up on our queue just because it's been like, you might like this.
Facts.
And it's like, the fact that, like, I haven't seen it, like, I'm very skeptical.
Facts.
I'm about to check right now. Keep going up. I might keep seeing if it's on Netflix.
It's on Amazon Prime for $3. It's on YouTube for $4. On Google Play Movies for $4. And it's also on Vudu for $3, which is
Vudu,
usually
baby.
free. So we might have got.
Vudu's always been like,
It's always $3.
You can see wherever you want, but it's gonna cost you $4.
And it's on Tubi for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw something recently about Tubi too.
Yeah, and not for nothing, the original one, like the UK one, is hilarious as well. It's almost the same story. I mean, it is the same story.
Death at a Funeral is on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Last day to watch is November 30th.
I'm watching that.
So get this off.
I'm watching
Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm watching that. I'm about to put it in my queue right now. I am definitely watching Death at a Funeral. That joint is hilarious. Well, there
I'm
you
so
go.
upset because before I closed my phone, I saw the picture of the Power Ranger Walking Dead thing.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, what a disappointing way to close my phone.
Yeah.
So,
Notable, Trevor Noah's comedy dropped today.
is that a special?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called I Wish You Would. So I'm done.
Damn. All right. That's a hell of a title.
Trevor's on his gangster since he grew that fro. But yeah, that's all I have for
You know he's leaving the Daily Show, right?
Yep. For reasons of integrity and character, which I completely agree with.
So you said that's all we had for Popcorn Papi?
Yep, that's all we had.
I mean, so that's the end of part 2. Part 3 is going to be the Blitz.
Yes.
All right. So I guess we'll see you guys on part 3. That is the end of part 2. So we'll see you there. I hope this was a breezy, 20 minutes maybe? Mm-hmm. So, you guys asked for it. You got it.